Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing week. I'm honored to be connecting in with you. We have been doing a special series in honor of a book that we're going to be launching on June 10th. So I want everybody to mark that on your calendar, June 10th. It's our Expert and Influencer series that we do a special book once a year in this series. And this particular book is focused on women's empowerment. So we have been doing a 3-part series. This is the second part, and talking with some of our amazing authors that were called to be part of this collaborative book, this project to bring it forward so that we can help walk beside women around the world, helping them more fully step into their power, claim their gifts and their talents, and bring them forward, because we believe that what the world needs is more of you. So I'm very excited to have them joining us today as we lean into this conversation of what does it mean to step forward and claim our power as women, and what can we do today? Why is it important that we come together, that we are collaborating together, and what can we do today to step a little bit more into our gifts, our talents, and our abilities so that we can bring those forward. Thrilled to have you joining us. I know you're going to enjoy meeting each of these amazing experts. You're going to find we have a diverse lineup today of different backgrounds and different journeys that our experts have gone on, and yet there's this common heartbeat that is tying them together to really support and empower you on your respective journey. We want you to have an easier time because of our passing here, because of our connecting here today, that we can impart upon you wisdom and insight that we have learned, so you're able to step forward that much faster, that much more powerfully, because of what we share today and what we share in this book. So I hope that you are looking forward to our conversation. We're looking forward to connecting in with you and sharing the insights, wisdom, and heartbeat of this amazing collection of authors that are leaning into you. But let's take a moment to connect in together. I like to do that through breath. So let's breathe in through our nose. Keep breathing in. Expand your belly, and then out through your mouth like through a straw. Didn't that feel wonderful? Sometimes we're moving so fast, we start breathing in a more shallow way, and we're not bringing that rich, beautiful oxygen into every cell in our body. So I want to encourage you to take a moment to catch up with yourself, to breathe, to slow down a little bit. This is your time for us to connect in and pour into you and support you on your journey. So let's take another breath. Mindfully, purposely, by choice, you're choosing to be here, fully present, mind, body, soul, and spirit. In fact, let's take a moment, put one hand on our heart, one hand on our head. This is a great reminder to bring all of you in. And as you're breathing, close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Bringing all of you in. This type of breathing helps bring you present, reduces stress levels, cortisol levels, brings beautiful oxygen to every cell of our body, which helps us be present, have clarity in thinking, release what no longer serves, so we can be open to receive what does. Beautiful. Keep breathing. And in this space, I want to take a moment and ask you a question. What is it that you need today to encourage you, empower you, uplift you? What is it you need today, real time, to support you on your journey? Feel in and see. Sometimes it's a reminder, a memory, an insight? What is it you need? And are willing to receive because you have choice. So, what is it you need and are willing to receive? Unattached to how, we're not talking about how, we're just clearly identifying what it is that you need so you can be open to receive it, whatever form it may come in. Beautiful. Let's take a breath. Come back into the room, eyes open, fully present. And take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's start to create that. Let's start to bring it into reality by writing it down. That way we can keep it top of mind and be actively on the lookout, ready to receive real time exactly what we need. Beautiful. We're going to go around our virtual room, and as we do that, I'm going to ask each of our amazing experts to share from their heart, just 10 to 15 seconds, what was laid on their heart when they stopped to pause and listen. And with that, Dr. Nance, I'd love to start with you. What was laid on your heart?
Well, what I heard was boundaries. And I think, and I'm sure that has to do with the fact that working from home, teaching classes from home, being the chair of a department from home, there is no separation between my home and my workplace.
Yeah.
And that is unusual for me. So boundaries need to be set.
Beautiful.
We need to, boundaries.
Thank you for sharing. I am sure many of our listeners can identify with that as we're in new patterns and rhythms, and many people working from home that haven't before. And that can definitely create some of those boundary challenges. So thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
I appreciate it. And Janine, I'd love for you to share.
Did you say Jean?
Yes, I did. Jean? Mm-hmm.
It got a little bit of interference there, which makes sense because the word that came to me was clarity. Because despite what looks like a lot of chaos, there's a lot of excitement and change and growth, I think, happening, and getting clear on where I need to go in all of this is important. And I find when I'm talking with my colleagues and clients that they seem to have the same issue, trying to get clearly focused on what the next step needs to be.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's so important. Finding clarity, being clear on that next step so we can take action. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And Diana, I'd love for you to share.
Thank you, Rebecca. The word that came to me was wisdom, and in particular, discernment, to really understand the needs of my clients at this time. I coach business clients, people who own small businesses, and this is a particularly interesting time. So I prayed and wished for wisdom and discernment to make sure that I really meet their needs and not answer it to my own fears.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And you're very deliberately tapping into wisdom and discernment. So that is what's leading and not fears or other things. I appreciate you sharing that. I think that will definitely echo with a lot of our listeners today. Thank you for sharing.
My pleasure.
Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart when we took a moment to stop, pause, and listen? And as each of our experts shared, perhaps that added another piece to what you were feeling into, what was speaking to your heart. As we get ready to go to our first commercial break, which is 2 minutes, where you'll be hearing beautiful commercials and updates we want you to be aware of, I invite you to stay present. Resist the urge to go cross things off the to-do list. Instead, stay present. Really feel in and receive the information and insights that are coming to you. And we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel. Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective, plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. We are talking with amazing authors from the soon-to-be-released book, the Expert Influencer Series, Women's Empowerment Edition. It will be available on Amazon starting June 10th. And here's why that date is super special. Starting June 10th, we're going to make it available in Kindle, and you don't have to have a Kindle device in order to enjoy a Kindle book. That's a myth. You just need to be able to connect with the internet through your laptop or computer or device, and you'll be able to enjoy the book. We're going to be offering it for a special $1 rate. So $1 US. It will be available for the first 24 hours, possibly 48 for that special rate. And we want to reach as many people as possible with this powerful book to support you on your journey. So mark that on your calendar, June 10th. That's why that date is so special and important. And as we get closer, we'll certainly be sharing out the links so that you're able to lean in and get your copy of this amazing book. Let me take a moment and share a little bit from each of our with each of our experts. Now, when leaders, experts, influencers are evaluating projects to be part of, there are so many things that can pull at our attention and our time. And yet each of these amazing leaders leaned in to be part of this project. And I know it was after reflection and evaluating and clarity on, is this something I'm called to be part of? Do I have something needed in this book to add to the conversation to serve? And those that leaned in and said yes became leaders and amazing authors in this book. And so I wanted to pull back the curtains for a moment and talk with each of our authors that are joining us today to hear from their heart why they said yes. Why did this become important to them to be part of, and to get a little preview of what is their chapter called. So let me take a moment to introduce each of our amazing authors. Diana Muret is the number whisperer. I love that. Numbers whisperer. And she can tell a business owner's story, but just by looking at their numbers. It tells her story. She's able to then translate that to support her clients in bringing their businesses forward. She has a BA in accounting and finance. She's MIT certified and process master. She's the founder of Business Profit Coach, LLC. She's a sought-after speaker, and she uses her 35-plus years experience as a corporate executive to help empower you in your money and your power to really step into them both fully and in an empowered way. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and heart-centered Diana Muret to the show. Welcome.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! I'm excited to join you to our stage. Welcome. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why this project called to you.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you, Rebecca. And I can't even tell you how delighted I am to be with such distinguished colleagues. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I'll answer your question. As a woman who went to college in the 80s, and I know I'm dating myself here, and I worked hard to feel empowered in a mostly male-dominated workplace, I came to understand a hard lesson that empowerment doesn't come from the outside. It has to come from the inside. And on the inside, we sometimes have childhood programming that often takes over. And in my coaching and in professional life, I saw so many women who were overcoming and becoming empowered. But then I'd also see another side of them, that they weren't empowered over their money. And I know money is a loaded topic. It's fraught with shame sometimes and expectations. And sometimes women tend to look outside to outsource their management of their money due to these faulty mindsets. So in my chapter, I tried to capture how I woke up from my financial fog, and I slowly became truly empowered over my money.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And do you mind sharing the title of your chapter so anyone who's taking notes can write that down and look for it on June 10th when the book is released?
Yes, absolutely. The title of my chapter is Trust Yourself to Manage Your Money.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. And I think it's so important that we have a chapter that is talking around money and empowering our readers, because that is important, that we have a strong, powerful, and empowering relationship with it as we're stepping forward. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And Dr. Nancy, she is a dear friend of mine. I'm excited to be introducing you. So
Thank you.
She has absolutely a wide range of experience encompassing 40 plus years in the worlds of business, education, women's empowerment, and theater. She is intuitive and a mystic with a PhD in religious studies, with concentration in systematic theology, feminist theory, and Divine Feminine and Marian Studies. She's a #1 international best-selling author of multiple books, and she's absolutely passionate about you stepping more fully into your feminine power. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Dr. Nancy Tarhart to the show. Welcome! Woo!
I just so vividly see you standing in my living room introducing me.
And you saw my hands up, right?
Yep. Right here. Big smile on your face. So thank you. It's good to be here. And your lineup is interesting again, because in this particular time, the feminine is so important. And we are being guided, even though it seems a little chaotic right now, because it is chaotic. But the guiding force in all of this, and in this time for the past couple of years really, has been the divine feminine working to balance our societal paradigms. And to, it's been so heavily weighed toward the patriarchy. And now it's time for that to shift. It's way past time for it to shift. So one of the things that really prompted me to join this project was that we as women particularly spend so much time looking for an answer, looking for something that will guide us, will help us. And I think that that's all great if it's enhancing what we already know. If we've allowed ourselves or given permission to ourselves, as you said earlier, to accept that information, but also to understand that the lesson and what we're looking for and that power is us. We are that power. And we spend so much time giving permission to others and to ourselves to make ourselves feel not very adequate, to make us feel inferior. I start my chapter off, actually, the name of the chapter.
Actually, I was tell us the name. Perfect.
The name is The Act of Giving Permission. Mm-hmm. And I started out with a quote that says, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Eleanor Roosevelt said that. Yeah. And I hear that in my head quite often. I used to hear it a lot because it was important for me to hear it, because I was giving permission not just to others, but to myself to feel inferior. Once I shifted that and gave myself permission to step forward in my power, it made all the difference. And that's what I am sharing with readers in the chapter.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And that is such a powerful, powerful quote. And it's putting that power back in our hands versus us giving it away so lightly and easily. Thank you for saying yes, for leaning in and being part of this project.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And then, Jean, I'm excited to introduce you as well. You have been such a big and powerful part of our community and events, so I'm honored to have you joining us today. Let me share a little bit about you with our amazing listeners. She is a PR, marketing, and communications expert. She has spent her career leading award-winning teams at Dolby Laboratories, Philips Electronics, Visa, and Sony. Her campaigns changed media perceptions and garnered national and international awareness for key issues. Today, she's executive director for the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Association, and as a business communication coach, she helps her clients compose and deliver unique brand stories. She is passionate about helping you be powerful and clear in your communication. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Jean Elford to the show. Welcome.
Hey, Jean.
Gee, Rebecca, I need to meet her. Thanks, Rebecca. I just keep thinking I need to meet her. We all need a bio that makes you want to meet yourself.
I know. And I think we should regularly introduce each other this way or greet each other this way. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And really claim who we are. Well, welcome. I'm thrilled to have you joining us today. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why you leaned into being part of this particular project, why it called to you, and giving us a glimpse of your chapter. So telling us the title.
Well, I wanted to be part of this project because you bring together a very diverse group of experts, and we all get to learn from each other as we work through the project, and that helps us grow. And what we're sharing in our stories, in our chapters, helps the readers as well. So it's a pleasure to be part of a community that seeks to help us all as we try to come into our own power and our own expertise. And as Diana and Nancy have said, we need to give ourselves permission to be in that power. And as a communications expert, I see on a regular basis how the language we use and how we respond to others in our communication process, how we don't step into our power, and I really want to change that. I want everyone to know they have a voice that's important to be heard. They have a story that's important to tell.
Yes.
So the name of my chapter is Women in Clear Communication. Find your voice, use your superpowers. And we all have superpowers.
Thank you for sharing so powerfully and clearly. I love it. With us today, you're walking the talk, which is beautiful to witness and learn from and take in. And I really echo what you shared, that we have this opportunity to learn from each other. As the compiler and leader of this project, I get to read every chapter as it's being created. And I find I consistently grow and am stretched and expand from all of the amazing experts and wisdom that they share in these projects and in this book in particular. So thank you for sharing that. I'm so thrilled that that's your experience too, and being part of this project, and that you're leaning into that so beautifully. Thank you for saying yes, for being part of this project so that we can all learn how to tap into our superpowers and be clear and powerful in our communication. And listeners, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, and these 2 minutes of commercials are playing in the background, I want to encourage you to be still, to listen to what is being laid on your heart and spirit from what our amazing experts have shared, what has resonated with your heart and spirit. Look back at the intention you wrote at the beginning of the show. How is that shifting, moving forward, and empowering you through our time together? And when we come back, we're going to be continuing our conversation. We look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. What's so powerful about taking just 2 minutes and pausing and breathing and reflecting on what is being spoken into your heart and spirit, and actually helps you integrate that information. It helps it become part of you instead of on the to-do list that is the someday list, hopefully we get to maybe. Whereas when we stop and take those 2 minutes just to breathe, receive, process, that can actually become part of us. So as we go back out into the world, we're doing so with this new information actually being part of us. So I encourage you to take those 2 minutes throughout the day, as you're doing throughout our show today, to really process, intentionally receive what serves, release what does not, and then move forward on purpose. Beautiful. We're talking with amazing and powerful authors from our Expert Influencer book, soon to be released. Hopefully everyone has the date now, but just in case, June 10th. It will be released on June 10th on Amazon for that special rate of $1. It's the Women's Empowerment Edition. And we're talking with our amazing authors as they're sharing from the heart why they were called to be a part of this project, and some of what you can look forward to discovering and learning within the pages of their chapter. So with that, we're going to go around the room and hear the title of their chapter again, just in case anyone missed that earlier, and get a feel of what we can learn or discover or gain from their beautiful chapters. So, Jean, I'd love to start with you. What is the title of your chapter again, and what can we discover or learn in your beautiful chapter?
Okay, my chapter title is Women in Clear Communications. Find your voice, use your superpowers. And I want to get across,
I love it.
Yeah. The theme for Mighty Mouse just went through my head.
Yes.
We spend our days in a lot of conversations, in presentations, in meetings, all kinds of interactions, but they can often feel like a tug of war. You have something to say, your conversation partner has something to say, somebody in the meeting has something to say, but who's really in charge? And that's what I want to talk about, because we as women need to understand that we have a voice that needs to be heard, And we need to, as was said earlier, give ourselves permission to be heard. And we do have some skills that we can build on to be able to be heard, to make sure that our message is clear, and to take that moment to be deliberate in how we respond. Because when you know how to communicate and you know how to deliver information clearly and concisely, that's very critical to the process. But when you know how that information is received, that is priceless. And that's what I talk about in my chapter.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that reminder that it is important we share our voice, that we do have superpowers, we do have gifts and talents and information that's needed to bring it forward, and being mindful of how it's being received and helping it be received as clearly and powerfully as possible.
Can I share one thing with you before we move on? And that's, you've already mentioned one of the superpowers that I'd like to remind people, and that's taking a deep breath. Being
beautiful.
Present.
So already tapping in. Okay, everybody, you heard it here. We are already tapping into our beautiful superpowers by being present, tapping in, breathing, and being really present in a conversation. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And Diana, I'd love for you to share the title of your chapter again and give us a feel of what we can discover and learn in your beautiful chapter.
Thank you. Yeah. The title of my chapter is Trust Yourself to Manage Your Money, if you remember. Mm-hmm. And what readers can discover is this. We women have been busy and distracted and told that, money might be complicated, or don't worry your pretty head with those things, or, you know what, you're not that good at math. Let someone else do it. And the list of things we've been told or we've adopted is endless. And we have allowed those beliefs to really impinge on our financial life. And sometimes, some of us actually willingly participated in the giving away of our financial power. So I've written this chapter to encourage women to take back the intellectual management of their money and be in control of their financial future. If we can give someone control over our money, we should do it only after very careful thought. But we must hold ourselves accountable for understanding money and how it grows, how it flows, how we can make more of it, and how we can safeguard it. We need to know how much we need to retire comfortably and live well. That's why I wrote this chapter.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing and taking that stand for all of us to know our numbers, to lean in and build a confident relationship with it so that we know how to build what we need, and we know what we need. We have that clarity on it and in it, and we can really start taking a leadership role with our money and what we're wanting to build in our life, and not just delegate that away, but really lean in and own it. I really appreciate you leaning in and saying yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see you saying yes for all of us and taking that stand. So listeners, I hope you feel that as well, because life is not a solo journey. And especially when we're looking at finances, you're not alone. And here you have someone standing beside you powerfully to support you on your journey. So I want you to feel that and embrace that. And throughout all of our amazing shares with our experts, I feel them standing with you and taking a stand for you. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Diana. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And Dr. Nancy, I'm thinking about taking stands and giving ourselves permission, or giving permission away. I'd love for you to share a little bit, remind us of your exact title, and share some of what we can learn, explore, discover as we read your beautiful chapter.
Well, the title of the chapter is The Act of Giving Permission. And it talks a lot about the way that we tend to give permission to others. Things like we turn over we give permission about our body shapes, our body sizes. We maybe don't go to a gathering because, I'm not sure I look my best today. Some of these things are subtle, some are not. But the most subtle is when we give ourselves permission to make ourselves feel less than. And I tell a little story in here that I'm going to share, which is that it was back in the 80s, and I was working in an office, and I looked at something I had done, and time has blurred the exact circumstances, but out loud, I kind of reacted out loud, and I said, "Nancy, you're an idiot." And as soon as that came out of my mouth, I heard one of my office mates say, "Please don't talk that way about my friend Nancy." It was a simple statement, but it stopped me in my tracks, and it hit me in the core of my being. She was saying what I often had trouble acknowledging, much less saying. Not only was I not an idiot, but I was enough. And sometimes when I stepped fully into my power, I was more than enough. In other words, I was a mighty woman whose power was visible, palpable, and innate. Over the years, there continued to be some times and there had been lots of times before this, that I had placed myself in a position of handing my power over to others who were more than happy to bring me to a place of being lesser than the powerful being I was intended to be. But there were also times that I placed my power on a back shelf and out of my own reach because I gave permission to myself to doubt my abilities and my inherent worth. And so I'd say a few more things in here, but it comes from a place of my life's journey has been peppered with instances where I either consciously or unconsciously failed to realize my own worth. And it manifested in not speaking up when I had something to offer at the table, feeling that I not being able to realize my potential in so many aspects of my life. It was a lesson, and many of us need to learn it. Once we've learned it, we can fully accept the beauty and worth of who we are. And these words of Eleanor Roosevelt that I stated before will never apply to you again. We all need to trust in ourselves and trust in our gifts, and that's what I share in my chapter.
Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that and giving us a feel for the wisdom and the insight that you have shared. And I think many of us can identify with that moment where we've talked to ourselves like that. And I love how your office mate stopped you in the tracks with such a loving way of doing it. Please don't talk to my friend, my dear friend, that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a powerful moment that each of us can embrace and start to be more aware of and be more kind and empowering to ourselves. So thank you for sharing. I really appreciate you sharing and leaning in and being part of this project.
My pleasure. You're welcome. My pleasure.
Listeners, we're getting ready to go to our next 2-minute moment. I know it comes so quickly, and I encourage you to use this time to stop, pause, breathe, receive that which is serving you, that which is pulling at your heart. Really listen, hear, receive, and release what no longer serves. We'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's Not Just Talk Radio, hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-hosts Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing, packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Become a member of VoiceAmerica.com. It's easy, and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click Register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit VoiceAmerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and gave yourself an opportunity to breathe, process, and integrate, really bringing in that which serves, releasing that which doesn't. And you can do that, breathe in, taking in what serves. As you breathe out, release, sending with love out into the world what no longer serves, is no longer yours to keep. Beautiful. We've been talking with the amazing authors of the Expert and Influencers book, Women's Empowerment Edition, to be released on June 10th, just in case anyone missed that day earlier. That's when we're going to be releasing it to the world, and we're very excited to be bringing it forward. This is just a taste of some of what you'll learn and feel and be supported with as you lean into this powerful book. As we continue our conversation, I wanted to take a moment and tap into these powerful experts that are joining us and have them talk about, when we look at times that we are facing right now, challenging, changing times that we're all globally faced with, why is it important during times like that, especially to come together, to look for opportunities or projects to collaborate and to unite together? And I want you to listen in and see what pulls at your heart and spirit. And with that, Dr. Nancy, I'd love for you to start the conversation. What would you say to that? Why is it important?
Well, I think it's important for a couple of reasons. One is that there is a great need for a sense of solidarity in community, because it helps us to deny and to erase feelings of isolation. But also, it's very important because women's individual and collective energies and voices are so very powerful. And when we put them into that communal solidarity position, it is intensified beyond belief. And it just goes out into the universe and throughout the cosmos, and it is effective in changing things and changing. We may not see it right away, but it's like a little spider's web that weaves, and it goes out and it starts to infiltrate, and it does change. It changes things, and right now I think that these groupings are put together so that we are changing things for the good.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I could feel the energy that you're sending out in your beautiful web that we are building and coming together. Just beautiful. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Jean, absolutely. Jean, what would you say? Why is it important that we come together, especially during times like this?
Well, building on the story and what I said earlier, we are going through, I think, a monumental transition, and clarity is important because there's excitement, whether good or bad, no judgment. There's excitement, there's change, and there's growth. And in this current climate, we need to be open and aware of what obstacles we face, obstacles we put in our own path or obstacles others may put in our path, and how we can overcome them. And when you pull together a magical group of experts like you have in this project, our expertise gets to come together and paint a different picture. We get to share different perspectives on various issues that we all face in how we grow. So it's amazing to see how these projects are pulling in the right people to support that new picture. And as we're looking to change, I'd like to think that we're looking to change from the what's in it for me attitude to the how can I be of service, how can I help attitude. And to do that, it's like what Lao Tzu said, is the journey of 1,000 steps starts with one.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And listeners, what is pulling at your heart? What is the step that you can take to come together, to unite so we can amplify what we're creating out in the world? Diana, I'd love for you to share.
Oops, I had myself on mute. There we go. Hi.
There you are.
When I started writing this book was last year, or this chapter, I should say. And, of course, none of this current situation was upon us. So I had no idea how important financial was going to become. My goal at the time was to just open women's eyes to the need to understand their financial life, regardless of their marital status or their age. And I thought I would be helping them take a step of empowerment. And because, like Jean said, because clarity is also empowering. And I prayed at the time, and I can see it even more in contrast now, that they used the story of my financial empowerment journey to chart their own. I tried to be as helpful as I could be with my fellow women as we navigate this new economy. And now more than ever, I believe strongly that having a handle on your money is vitally important. I'm not trying to be pessimistic in any way, shape, or form, but the next few years may not be easy for everyone. And we must therefore have great clarity than we've ever had before when it comes to money, as well as, of course, other items. And I really hoped that this book would really help my fellow sisters.
Thank you for sharing. And that really leaning in, and something our readers will enjoy throughout the book. Every expert has shared openly from their heart their journey and really felt into what could serve. And doing that, as Diana was sharing, last year before we knew. Yet I feel like it's perfectly timed that this book is needed for such a time as this. And each of you listeners, you each are absolutely needed for such a time as this. It's not an accident you tuned in today. I want to encourage you to listen to that prompt, that pull at your heart. Be willing to lean in. Be willing to say yes to those opportunities to support one another, to come together, to have your voice heard, your gifts received. Be willing to share them. And if you were waiting for permission, please note it is granted fully. We are all leaning into you and encourage you to lean into you. Be willing to share the gift of you. Have an amazing week, everyone. We'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.